This is Crystal Racing with my British Grand Prix review of 2023. Max Verstappen wins his 9th race of the season, only 11 races in. And Max and Red Bull are running away with the championship. It is absolutely mental to watch, if we're going to be honest. It is just pure insanity what the level he's driving at. It's another A for Max, but at this point, we have to ask ourselves, is it Max or is it the Red Bull that's fast? It could be a mix of both. And at this point in time, I don't really want to speak too much because, let's be honest, I fully expect Red Bull to be able to win every race of the season. The Red Bull employees are now all talking about chasing the record, McLaren's 1988 record when he won 15 out of 16. And of course, well, I mean, I think what Red Bull are trying to do essentially is the F1 version of Arsenal's 2003 to 2004 invincible season, where they did not lose a single Premier League match. That is what Red Bull are trying to achieve, and I don't blame them because with this car and a driver like Max Verstappen in it is very doable. Second place and everyone's driver of the day, Lando Norris, a career best finish of second. Of course, he did it at the 2021 Italian Grand Prix, and he's done it again at today's British Grand Prix. Qualified second, beat Max off the line to lead the first 5 laps. To be honest, Lando never really stood a chance of winning the race, but in the circumstances we are in, with Red Bull firmly on top, I mean, if Max wasn't there, Lando would have actually taken his maiden Grand Prix win, although, of course, he could have got it at the 2021 Russian Grand Prix, we're going to be honest. That should have been his first win. Third place, Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris, of course, gets an A star. Lewis Hamilton, third place. It's an A. Decent drive, but, you know, he's been moody all weekend. He was crying and moaning on the radio in Austria where he was telling the FI steward to give penalties to Perez. So it's like a salty loser. So, you know, I'm not going to say too much nice about him. I mean, he thoroughly beat Russell this weekend, but, you know, I fully expect it because he's a far better driver than George Russell. Fourth place, Oscar Piastri, his best career finish so far for the 22-year-old Australian. Gotta say, he kept up with Norris all weekend long, and I've got to say, if he keeps up this progress, I can guarantee you Norris and Piastri isn't going to be as friendly as you think it is right now. In about a year or two's time, Piastri could be consistently beating Norris on a consistent basis, because what he's done so far in the first 11 races has been very impressive. Of course, he's not got the same number of points as Norris, but he's a rookie. Whilst Norris, on the other hand, I think he's only actually 23, but of course Norris has got substantially more experience, so, you know, keep your eyes out for Oscar Piastri. Fifth place, George Russell. Of course, Oscar Piastri gets an A grade. George Russell, it's a B grade. Don't really watch much of him. Decent performance. Sixth place, Sergio Perez. It's a C grade. To be honest, Red Bull made a huge mistake putting him in the front of the queue for the last final qualifying runs in Q1 yesterday, which meant, of course, Perez ended up getting knocked out in Q1, dropping from 1st to 16th, because on a drying track, like, why'd you put him out first? Like everyone's going to go faster than him. What are you doing? Are you so worried that he's going to get knocked out again? Only that, of course, he got knocked out anyway. Really far too cautious, and I mean, if that was Perez's choice, I mean, he's going to take a huge amount of criticism if that was his decision to go out first, because on a drying track, that was just pure idiocy. And let's face it, once again, he had to fight his way through the field. Like, yes, he's good at overtaking cars, but come on. Like, I know, obviously, Red Bull and Max are going to win both championships easily, but if next year the likes of Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, maybe even Alpine manage to give Red Bull more of a fight next year, Perez will become a liability with his qualifying performances. I can guarantee you that. Don't know who 7th, yeah. Fernando Alonso, I think, just about held on to 7th place. I'll give him a B grade. Aston Martin's car just didn't look very quick this weekend. I even called him Aston Midton on Chaz's stream at one point because he just looked so bizarrely slow. I think they have begun to slip off a bit on the development track, and I think they're setting their eyes on 2024, to be honest, with, of course, having lost a race at Monaco. I think that with that being their best chance to win a race, I think they've already conceded they're not going to win a race this year. And having picked up about 7 podiums with Alonso already this season, I mean, there's going to be a lot more sponsorship and investment coming their way for next season anyway, so it's not like a disaster if they have like a dry patch. And, of course, there's a huge question mark over their second driver, who I just do not even want to talk about, because let's talk about 8th place Alex Albon. Fantastic performance, A grade, superb, third fastest in free practice 1 and 2 on Friday, qualified, I think, was it 7th, was it 7th or 8th? Yeah, he split Hamilton and Alonso on the grid in qualifying, and he got 7th place. He's now dragged Williams up to P7 in the Constructors' Championship. What more superlatives can I say about Albon? He is unbelievable right now. He is one of the most on-form drivers on the grid as of now. 9th place. Oh yeah, 9th and 10th. Oh yeah, what's that team called? Oh, Scuderia Maranello, yeah. Leclerc and Sainz, I can only give them a C grade. Yeah, they did qualified 4th and 5th, and they ended up with a sort of 9th and 10th. But at this point, it's a fairly normal weekend for the Maranello boys from Italy. Just, that safety car completely screwed them over. No tyre temperatures, just no pace at all. Having to fight off, Alonso out, getting beat by Alonso and Albon. Fighting Gasly. God, I think if Gasly hadn't been taken out, he probably would have scored a point today. I don't even know what to say. I think C grades on both sides of Leclerc, but it's not necessarily their fault. They are driving for Ferrari after all. 11th place, was it? Who the hell finished 11th? Was it? I can't even remember now, and it's been that much of a crazy race. I don't even know where everyone else finished behind them, but was it Valtteri Bottas 11th? Yeah, I think it was, yeah. B grade. The Alfa Romeo is not quick enough right now. He did the best job he could. 12th place, Logan Sargent. God, tricky one. I'll give him a C+. Well, he's nowhere near as quick as Albon, but this is probably the best performance he's put in so far in his short F1 career. 13th place, was it Hulkenberg? I think it was Hulkenberg, can't remember. I'll give him a B grade for qualifying the horse in 11th place yesterday and doing the best he can in a horse that's just nowhere near quick enough. Of course, he had to take an early pit stop because of the damage he picked up when Perez clipped his front wing on the first few laps. 14th place. Oh, yeah, that Canadian driver, yeah, car number 18, yeah, don't even want to mention his name. He's disqualified. Honest to God, it's time for Lance Stroll to become a passport bro and go to Thailand. Go and, have a family there, because I don't ever want to see him. And alternatively, go to IndyCar and race the likes of Santino Ferrucci and Stingray Robb. Yeah, that's his level of racing, because once again, Lance Stroll has to make contact with another car. When he's in wheel-to-wheel combat, he deliberately smashed into the side pod of Pierre Gasly, broke his suspension, meaning Gasly had to retire on what was a dreadful day for the French team, who, of course, once again, France go on strike. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. But this time, it was literally Lance Stroll's fault. Honestly, I've had enough of Lance Stroll. Just get him out of Formula 1 ASAP. It's time for Lawrence Stroll, his dad, to face reality and realise his son is not an F1 driver. He's been there for 6.5 years and he carries on doing stupid things. His son is getting destroyed by a 42-year-old Fernando Alonso. I mean, the gap between Stroll and Alonso is even bigger than it was between Alonso and Raikkonen. And yet, Alonso is now about 10 years past his absolute peak as a driver. And yet, Lance Stroll still can't make any inroads on a 40-something ex-double world champion. Yes, I know Alonso is one of the greats of the sport, but for Lance Stroll and a driver of his experience, because I know he's 24, but he's not, but he has had a long career in F1 that's stretched back to like to 2017 when he started at 18. This is absolutely unacceptable. He deserves this qualification. I do not ever want to give him a grade on this Crystal Score video ever again. The guy is absolute muck. I don't even want to talk about him ever again. As for everyone else, I'm not even sure when he finished. I think Ganyu Zhou, or Zhou Ganyu, I beg your pardon, as the Chinese Communist Party insists, as I call him by his surname first. Yeah, C grade, don't even care. Well, at least you managed to finish the race, because last year you almost got killed. And of course, 16th and 17th, the AlphaTauri drivers. Sonoda and De Vries is a C grade. Never really had a chance really of getting a result. I'm not going to say too much, although I've got to say De Vries has probably now only got about 2 races to save his career, because he is 28 years old. He's a Formula E champion, he's a Formula 2 champion, and he's not done much of no. Only Hungary and Spa can now save his career, and frankly, with how bad the AlphaTauri is, I am not holding my breath, because I am thoroughly expecting Liam Lawson to be in the AlphaTauri come Zandvoort at the end of August. And for the retirees, Gasly, it's a B grade, out-qualified Ocon, got into 8th, qualified 10th. Unfortunately, got taken out by an absolute Nepo baby from Canada. I don't want to go through it ever again. I'm so angry, to be honest, thinking about it. Hulk, was it Magnussen? Yeah, brought the safety car. It's a D grade. He's just seriously off the pace. Okay, yeah, was it D grade, C grade? I don't even know. But right now, it's just a C at maximum. He is just seriously struggling right now, I have to say. He's just getting destroyed and obliterated by Hulkenberg in pure pace. And I think the only reason why Magnussen is still in F1 is because he spent many years being flattered by Roman Grosjean, whom you never knew what sort of performance Grosjean would put in on a week-to-week basis. Just far too inconsistent. And now Magnussen being put alongside a far more solid driver is himself getting exposed. And of course, the first retiree, Esteban Ocon. I don't even think it's fair to give him a grade, because he only lasted for like, I don't know, 12 laps before his car broke down. I mean, Alpine, I know your country right now, France, is having all sorts of problems, because during 2023, France have been protesting over almost everything, but then, of course, the past 5 or 6 years, they've been protesting about everything, the yellow vest jackets, and all sorts of crime and corruption, and all sorts of awful things going on in France. I mean, but my goodness me, this was the weekend from hell, and I've got to say it. McLaren are probably going to overtake you for 5th place in the Constructors' Championship if this continues, because yes, I know the Silverstone tracks works beautifully to McLaren's advantage with the long speed, the high speed flowing corners, but yeah, Alpine are looking worryingly bad. I am scared for them. I am very concerned for them. Don't know what to say. I think I should end it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.